So this is gonna be like the weirdest one. Me just sharing about my childhood. Like there was a message actually recently that like I read that like it was this tarot psychic reader. So they said something about like or my ancestors they don't want me to forget about my childhood. So they don't want me to forget about my childhood. Why they don't want me to forget about my childhood is because of my childhood like holds like the whole information for the next 2 generations coming. Like how they raised me up and how they took care of me. And I've been raised by a lot of people, by the way. Like I've been raised by like a community. When they say it takes a community to raise, that's what happened to me. Like from crèche, after crèche, there's someone who's taking care of me. From crèche, there's someone who's taking. And my brother, like he was like a king for me and my sister. I have a twin sister, by the way. So that's just a couple of things that like I know like why my ancestors they don't like me to forget about my childhood. Like they don't want it. Like they don't want me to forget about my childhood because some of the childhood things they trauma, but like I got healed that. Like I healed that like I think a couple of years ago. I've just made it clear that like I need to face the bad part of my childhood, so that like when I share with the new generation of my kids, like they can really understand or like, oh Tabo, you went through this, so you know that's why you don't want us to do that, you know. So my childhood was a cup of water that like I need to give it to other kids. They need to drink that water, which is the water of knowledge, wisdom. I have like a lot of wisdom that I've learned from like my grandfather, my grandmother. My grandmother from my mom's side, she's a spiritual person. She stayed by herself for some time. So I really understand that like if I can not really forget about that, like if I cannot forget about my childhood, that thing can be a movie, and I can pass that movie to like the next generation. They can see how I grew up, and because I'm all about like doing better and like making better decisions. I know like I've made I don't know what to say about it. So my childhood story goes by like I grew up in a village, like grew up in a big village where actually like everything is a contemporary way of living. How we eat, how we eat, like, and also I grew up from a traditional family. So we eat together, someone would do something for someone. So that's how I grew up. Like I grew up from a space where I saw love, and so people showing love to each other. Even my grandfather, for me, and from their age, he was a gentleman, a pastor. How not? He cannot be always wearing his own white shirt. When he was not wearing a white shirt or a suit, that's a message that I wanted. Like this is for you, like the next generation, about like how I know these people. Like if he was not into that, he's into overall and his boots by the garden or by the farm, and we there also. Or we will go and they call it like they say like the Lord is my shepherd. So I was taking care for the cows. I was taking care for like I was being a shepherd actually. I grew up as a shepherd. Let me say like I grew up for sometimes like I was fully a shepherd, to be honest. So I've noticed that like someone taught me actually how to rapa things or rutadil or like a portfolio like it's a my one better flavor. hey, come on, Barnabas. Barnabas, it was like, it's Barnabas, no, I get it wrong. Kulo. Kulo, it was my grandfather and my grandmother's favorite car. So it became my favorite because Kulong means cool down. Like when it came into the family, because they were deep like that. Like I don't know, but like they were deep like that. Even they giving them names. One of the cars, I think they've been given the name by my dad. I forgot the name. I'll ask them and record that later. So me not forgetting my childhood is because of it holds that memories. It has those memories, those beautiful memories about family and about family what hold the family and what hold the community, what grew the community, what groomed the community. And that became a story in my life in ways where actually I wanted clearly like to do a documentary about that. And I didn't have the time as I thought I would have one. So grew up like that, playing a drum, like from a young age, in a traditional manner, in a spiritual way, some womas and all of those things. Just being around those people, like grow up around them. So I've seen that energy come to me. So I want to pass that energy to the young ones though. I see them, I see you. So yeah, that was like my childhood. Then getting into like modernized stuff of my childhood started from like age 12 to be honest, where I got a phone. I started to be on Facebook when I was very young, very naughty. I grew up as a naughty person, like very shy, very naughty, very smart, think for others, help others. Because I used to help my grandmother a lot, like with that stuff, as I said on the last segment of my life story. So I've realized that because this is like a video of realization of things before I can conclude things. So I need to just to speak myself based on things in my childhood, things that I know about myself. So grew up in a space where actually in my family, we were the only people in a small community in a village. So my grandfather, when he used to work in Johannesburg, so he came back home with a TV. So we are the only people that back then, like 96, 97, we were the only people that had a TV. So a lot of people would come in our place and watch TV and all of those things. So that's why, to be honest, I appreciate that. I've met people, I've met real people. Even some of them now, they always ask about, where is Matunsana? They used to call us Matunsana. It's Tabole Tabile. So, it was a thing. I don't know what to say, but it reminded me of a lot of things. Like my aunt Cookie, she was my caretaker. They didn't want anything with me. For my mom's side, they're from a royal family. They do ritual stuff in a form of a school, mountain school. So that also taught me a lot about human behavior and then human belief, because we didn't have a choice though. We didn't have a choice. You go to church and you go to my mom's side, we still go to church, but the behavior and the practice of it is more spiritual in a form of practice. It's more of practice. My grandmother, she's more about practice. Every day in the morning you wake up, that's a practice of life. If you